I'm Dr. Julie Kinn. I lead the education and training team at the Defense Health Agency Connected Health Branch. Today I want to talk a little bit about why digital health is so important to me and why I think our care team should consider ways that we can use digital health to help our service members, veterans, and their families. When you go to a very small high school, the teenagers pretty much take turns dating everybody there. One of my friends and I dated for a little while, and then we decided we would be better off as friends, and we were totally right. He was perfect to call in the middle of the night for terrible advice or to make me laugh. He went to college a year earlier than me, but he would still drive 2 hours home on the weekends if I had a gig playing my emotional singer-songwriter guitar songs. This is not a joke, but my gigs were always at a little cafe called The Village Idiot. He was often the only one listening to me. Looking back, even though we lived a couple hours apart, it makes sense that I'm the friend he called on the night he tried to kill himself. Don't worry, he lived, but it was rough going that night. What you need to know is this took place in the early 90s. And back then, my family was pretty technologically savvy by 1993 standards. We had a home computer, dial-up internet, a fax machine, and 2 phone lines. While I stayed with my friend on the phone, my mom went into hero mode and she called first responders on the other line and searched on the internet for local resources to help him. We stayed on the line till we heard paramedics, and then we talked for a very, very long time. My friend lived and got the help he needed. I firmed up in my resolution to become a clinical psychologist if movie star didn't work out. The aspect of clinical psychology I really liked was prevention. We have this parable in the helping professions about children in a river. So here's the story. There's a small village and the children keep falling into a river. So the town council comes together and one council member says, what we should do is put a strong man in the river, and when children fall in, he can pick them up and throw them out. Another person says, well, why don't we look into ways of making the river more shallow so when children fall in, they can just climb out? And the third person says, well, why don't we figure out why the children are falling into the river in the first place? Maybe we should put a fence between the playground and the river. So that's primary prevention, figuring out a way to stop the problem from happening in the first place. Part of prevention is using the resources that we have available. In the case of my friend, it was using our technology and my superhero mom. But that's tertiary prevention. That's like lifting those children out of the river after they've already fallen in. My friend needed primary prevention, social support, access to therapy and resources and skills to help him manage his emotions and his anxiety. Now that I study and use digital health, I'm so grateful for the different apps, websites, wearables, and podcasts available that can help people like my friend. We've made so many different resources within the Defense Health Agency and the VA to help folks with a variety of health conditions. And my team here has made all sorts of different resources to help our providers pick the best resources, like our digital health prescription pads. We're trying to do everything possible to make it really easy for our care teams to use digital health safely and ethically. So I take it personally when a provider, especially a psychologist, refuses to consider recommending health technology to patients. Evidence-based digital health that supports our regular treatment. Why wouldn't we use every available resource to help? Especially when our beneficiaries are already carrying a mobile device in their pocket. Back to that metaphor, that parable about the children in the water. The primary prevention method is building a fence to keep those kids from falling in the first place, right? Well, the 21st century fence is Wi-Fi enabled. Let's get smart and use it.